Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our chats with Emily as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson that's contained in the Johnson edition. We turn now to poem 124, In Lands I Never Saw, They Say. This is a fascinating little poem for a number of reasons. Now, we are back to Sam Boyle's, we believe, with this poem, and any number of other poems of Sam Boyle's. I mean, remember poem 106. To most scholars' view, this poem was never actually sent to Sam Boyle's. There's no evidence that it was, but it would have been clear to Sam Boyle's what exactly it was that Emily is saying in this poem. Now, our assumptions, speaking of Sam Boyle's and poem 106, our assumptions you've been following are stuff at learnstrong.net. Down that left-hand side, again, Chats with Emily, our playlist. I'm hopeful that you'll be introduced to our set of introductory comments where we mentioned a number of influences on Emily's life, Sam being one of those, Boyle's being one of those. And I'm hopeful that you've already read the previous 123 poems. We just finished with 123, Many Cross the Rhine. Now, in some ways, we are back to earlier poems. Poem 80 and a mentioning of the Alps, and poem 85 where she identifies herself as a daisy. And again, we've got this comparison thing going on, and we will see this here. And the playful tone of voice. I love this little poem for that reason as well. She'll say it this way. In lands I never saw, they say immortal Alps look down, whose bonnets touch the firmament, whose sandals touch the town. Meek at whose everlasting feet a myriad daisy play. Which, sir, are you, and which am I, upon an August day? Now, we will say at 3A, at 3B here in a little bit. I'm sorry, at 3A here in a little bit. That when we study poems 909 and 453, we're going to see similar kinds of comparisons and inversions that are being made. Notice here, we're comparing the majestic Alps with daisies, right? Some daisies that are growing at the foot of the mountains. It's an interesting differentiation. Of course, what is she doing? Well, she is making the argument that Sam Boyle's is the Alps and she's the little daisy at the bottom of the Alps, showing a certain kind of, maybe we would say, genuflecting or gratitude towards Sam Boyle's. Notice the game that she plays, In Lands I Never Saw, again, taking us back to poem 80, for example. They say, and it's kind of like, I have heard type of thing. Immortal is a key word here. Alps look down. And then we've got bonnets touching the firmament, sandals touching the town. In other words, just emphasizing the majesty, the majestic nature of it. And then the word meek, which, as we've already pointed out, is a word that Emily likes. Meek at whose everlasting feet. So we're back to the immortality of the Alps. And all of a sudden we begin to go, oh, okay. She's clearly speaking in word picture here. Somebody, some person is the Alps, obviously. In this case, we're arguing it is Sam Boyle's. And she is the daisy here, a myriad daisy play. In one rendition of this poem, it was pluralized to daisies. Which, and now to the rhetorical question to finish the poem, sir, are you, and which am I, upon an August day? In other words, it's a fascinating little question. Are you the daisy, or am I the daisy? Are you the Alps, or am I the Alps? Well, it's fairly obvious that she is making the argument to whoever she would be addressing this poem to as sir, that she sees herself as the daisy and obviously him as the Alps. At 2A, if we're looking for a message here, I think that it is, the argument could be made that she's saying, it's great to admire, it's great to be admired. At 2B, I love the rhetorical question, the tongue-in-cheek rhetorical question at the conclusion of this. If this had been shared with Sam Boyle's, I think he would have smiled. In 3A, I want to point out that when we get to poem 453, we're going to see a similar kind of comparison game going on. And when we get to poem 909, we're going to see a similar kind of inversion game going on. So just put that in your memory so that when we see those poems, we'll come back to the way in which she plays this game. Of course, Emily has been playing this game all the way through so many of the poems, right? Where, for example, you are X and I am Y, that kind of thing. We've seen that before. Finally, do you have someone in your life that you might consider immortal Alps and you are the myriad daisy? And maybe the inverse. Are you the Alps for somebody? Thank you.